What's up, collectors and authors, so much to see us today. I get some really excited news when taking a look at the recently released pictures for Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Slag and Daniel. And for our first picture of 86 Slag, here we have him kind of like a neutral pose. As you can see, oh my god, this guy looks amazing. As you can see, he's rocking the red face, and it's kind of like a big deal because normally he has problems with his face, because as you can see, the accurate version is the red, as you can see on the top and on the left corners, but the original figure was black, so they kind of switch it up, black and red, and normally the red ones are really rare and really difficult to find, not to mention expensive as hell. So I'm really happy that they decided to go with a red face. And now only that, they decided to call him Slag. It's been a while since he's been called, his original name, because it's accurate to the G1 representation. Originally, he was called Slag, but after Age of Extinction, I believe, he was called then Slug, and then they decided to go with Slug all the way. We all know why they don't use that word, so I'm honestly super surprised that they decided to go with the original name. I really don't care if they decided to go with Slug or Slag. I just want the figure because as you can see, it looks amazing, but I understand why they decided to go with the original name, because Studio Series stands for accuracy. And as you can see, this guy from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head looks perfect. The sculpted in detail looks amazing, and the paint distribution looks stunning. And not only that, you can see that the weapon itself is accurate as well. You can see that it's white, and the sculpted in detail that it has looks good. Unfortunately, just like Grimlock, it does not bring his sword, but he doesn't use that as much on the G1 series, so I understand why they decided to go with a weapon instead. And now for our comparison, so you guys can see how truly accurate this guy is. Here we have his G1 representation, and you can see that everything is on the spot, from the head, the chest, the arms, the legs, everything is exactly the same. You can see that the weapon is a copy and paste, so that's really good indeed. And you can see that the panels on the back are there, and the dino head as well. Even the little things are accurate, like the baby green on the knees and the black on the waist. So honestly, not bad at all. Really nice indeed. I'm super excited, can't wait to have this guy in my collection. Moving on to two more pictures of Slag, you can see that he has a nice articulation, and he brings Daniel. We can't see the actual sculpted face, but we all know that's Daniel. So they're basically doing exactly the same thing as they did with Grimlock and Willy, so I'm guessing that they're gonna do exactly the same thing for every single Dinobot. For the sculpted in detail on Daniel, it's actually not that bad. I really don't expect much from this one, and I am not looking forward to have him. I'm really more excited for Slag than him, because you can see it suffers the same syndrome as Willy. He's gonna be stuck in crouch mode forever, and I do not like that at all whatsoever. For the accuracy on Daniel, you can see there are a couple of things missing here and there, but he looks good nonetheless. I completely forgot that I had this picture, and I almost rendered the entire video without it, and as you can see, we got a nice comparison with a couple of nice figures here. For the scale, you can see that it looks really nice with the rest of the Autobots, and it does not disappoint. It looks really good next to Grimlock. They look amazing together, and they scale really well. Honestly, it's about time that we get the entirety of the team of Dinobots on a really nice scale, because normally we get it on Voyagers or Deluxe classes, and that just does not work at all. For the Dinobot, you can see that same sculpted in detail that he had on Realm translates really well into the Dinobot itself, and it still looks really accurate to the G1 representation. I love that. And just like Grimlock and Willy, they have the same features. You can see that this time is Daniel and Slag. I'm really curious to see what other characters they pick to ride the rest of the Dinobots, because you can see this is a thing. Perhaps Daniel's dad? Maybe? I don't know, man. I'm just speculating at this point. For a comparison with his G1 representation, so you guys can see how truly accurate his Dinobot is, you can see that pretty much everything is on the spot. The actual mold is accurate, and you can see that every color distribution is done the right way. Not to mention that you can open his mouth and put some fire effects on it and post it just exactly the same as in the top pictures. And now for a comparison, so you guys can see how he scaled next to Grimlock. So you can see they look really nice together, really accurate to the G1 representation, and they both scale really well with each other. By the way, guys, sorry that the picture is kind of small. If I put it any bigger, just the frames drop, and just the quality of the photo looks awful. And for our last picture here, we have him from the bottom, so you guys can see if he has some cable or some gaps. And as you can see, he does have some gaps, but I really don't mind that. Pretty much every Transformer has gaps. And as you can see, the weapon hides really well in detail. I like that. And for the robot pieces, they also hide really well. So what are your thoughts on 86 Slag and Daniel? I'm interested in knowing your opinion on the subject, so leave that on the comments down below. But this is pretty much it for the whole thing. Honestly, I cannot wait to have it in hand, and he's gonna look amazing next to Grimlock. But with that being said, this is pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoy. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps you, the algorithm, and helps my videos get out there in a while. So if you get any value out of my content, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. But this is pretty much it for Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Slag and Daniel.